Every student has asked this question: why am I studying something that I'll never use again? This question poses a huge problem in our school systems, as many students face multiple factors of stress from within it. Starting from the community college stigma, where many students and parents believe that community colleges are a place for the less educated and provide worse education. In turn, this causes students to focus more on their studies and pour more emphasis towards it. But in a 2016 Arizona State University study, it shows that students that tend to put more emphasis onto their grades lose out on key everyday life skills such as compassion and drive, which are needed for their future, as it is important to find the career you want to do for the rest of your life in high school with early opportunities for it. Yet, education is no longer the main focus in our schools, as grades are now. Students take harder courses such as AP and honors courses just to boost their GPA, doing what they can to get an A in that class without really learning the material. And the thing is, grades have such a high emphasis because an A from a B can change your chances of a college admission compared to someone else. This high pressure on grades leads to students, as said by the National Institute of Mental Health, having burnout and depression, as the depression rate in students are rising, and this is due to the constant pressure of our school systems, which should not stand. One of the main factors that determines grades are tests. Spanning across the years, students have multiple tests, such as midterms and finals, which are worth a major percentage of their grades, and especially AP tests, where students only have 3 to 4 hours to determine if they get college credit or not for that class. And if they don't, apparently an entire year's worth of learning is just down the drain. This high emphasis on tests leads for students to cram material in before every test, hoping just to get that high grade, instead of actually learning the material and being comfortable with it. And failing on a test will lead to students having a lack of self-worth and mental illnesses such as depression. Another way that students are not helped in our education system is actually by their teachers, as there are some teachers that do not have the same compassion as they used to for their jobs. And instead, they take previously made assignments from online that do not test the students' creativity and their thinking. They're just blatant memorization, fill-in-the-blank type assignments. And this results into students being bored with the material, not actually being excited to learn what is being provided to them, causing students to cheat or having a lack of absorption on the material. But as the times change, new teachers programs should rise up, applying to the modernization of our students. As students are having more ideas and thoughts within our education system, teachers need to provide new teaching methods to help our students stay engaged with their material and learn the material. But on the topic of materials, the California Career Pathway Trust is implementing new career pathways through grades 9 through 14. This is important for our students as they get an early access to careers in high school. Instead of just randomly choosing their major and having to switch it midway through college, they actually get a brief example of their career at early ages in high school. And this in turn allows them with skills for their entire career. New career pathways and teacher training methods should be embraced with full force. Going back to the topic of grades and tests, we should take example from Finland, as Finland has one of the highest education systems in our world and has a 93 graduation rate from high schools and vocational schools. In fact, they don't have emphasis on grades or tests at all. They only have one test at the end of high school, known as the National Matriculation Exam. And some might argue, wouldn't this one test have more stress and pressure on their students? This might be the case, but instead of constantly focusing on grades and tests like we do in here, where many students, like myself, think, I need to constantly maintain my grade at this point, or when is my next test going to happen? I really need to do good on this test to keep my grade in check. They aren't facing this constant barrage of stress, and in turn, they're easily able to absorb the material and do better. Looking back on a school system with emphasis on grades and tests, it should not stand as it is harming our students. And going back to the question, why should I study something that I'll never use again? The answer is, you shouldn't. While there are many things that you could study that help you with your future, such as career pathways, giving a brief outlook on a career, providing students with skills in the future, there's also topics that are taught poorly, like memorization, fill in the blank, that don't challenge the student's creative mind, not helping them throughout the education system, as it is the school's main responsibility to provide our students with skills that will last them throughout their future careers. And that's what they should do. Provide students with skills that will last them a lifetime. Thank you.